Now, Aaron Judge was caught on camera twice looking out of the corner of his eye before hitting an absolute mammoth home run to center. The Blue Jays announcers asked what he was looking at, and they mentioned he could be looking at the catcher for location, but didn't want to accuse him of that.
Watch what he's looking at.
Yeah. What is that?
Where's he looking?
Where's he looking? And he did
In
it
the
more than
dugout?
once.
Yeah.
Just did it again. And he pummeled it.
Now, I'm not going to accuse him either, but I'm going to talk about what I've seen players do in the past. I'm not saying this is what Aaron did, because only he knows, but this is what could have been happening. Now, after the game, he was asked by reporters what he was looking at, and at first he was perplexed by the question, but when asked a second time, he said he was looking at the bench to see who was chirping at the umpires in a 6-0 game. Now, to me, his glances are too quick to be able to scan an entire dugout and see who's yelling. There's a lot of guys over there, and he glances for like a split second. But again, he said that's what he did, so I'm going to believe him. So let's get back to the announcer's thoughts of glancing at the catcher. First off, this 100% happens in games. Not all the time, but it happens. Now, the announcers and a lot of people on Twitter are saying that you can't see the catcher by looking at the pitcher and glancing to the side. But I'm telling you 100% that you can. Now, you can't see their signs, and they don't even give signs anymore. But you can see where the catcher is setting up. So try this right now, because I'm doing it. Look out like you're looking at a pitcher and glance to your right. You can see behind you just enough to see if a catcher is moving towards the outside part of the plate or the inside part of the plate. Now, if you can't see him, then your peripheral vision isn't great, because I'm doing it and I can definitely see behind me. And when you do this, remember, you're not looking for signs from the catcher. All you're doing is you're trying to catch a quick glance at which direction his body goes. So if I'm doing it here, you see the catcher is about to set up. So right there. So all I'm looking for is this movement right here as he starts to shift to the outside part of the plate. Now I know he's set up away. Now, catchers are taught to set up late for this reason. They don't want to set up early because a hitter could see or they could hear the direction that you're moving. If Aaron knows that opposing teams attack him in two ways, sliders away and fastballs in, which is a typical pattern to a lot of hitters, but especially the big power hitters, then he knows that if you set up away, it's a breaking ball, and if you set up in, it's a fastball. So all he needs to see is a little bit of the catcher's body moving away or a little bit of it disappearing in, and he knows the pitch. So again, if he sees this little shift right here, he knows slider. If instead the catcher were to move this way and kind of disappears out of his peripheral vision, he knows it's fastball. Now, I've seen a lot of catchers will set hitters up. So if they have any inkling that a hitter might be peaking, then they'll call a fastball in, they'll set up early away, and then at the last second, they'll switch back to the inside. And also, for anyone that says, oh, this doesn't happen, back when catchers would give actual signs and not use PitchCom, they would typically look up at hitters' eyes while giving the signs to make sure that they weren't peeking back. And there are definitely certain hitters in the league that would peek back and try to see signs. I've heard catchers tell hitters to get their eyes away from their signs. They said it a lot meaner than that. I've also been on teams where we intentionally threw at batters for looking back at signs. I've been in dugouts where the catcher will say that a certain guy keeps peeking at his signs, and if he does it again, they're going to hit him. And what do you know? He does it again, and they hit him. And then they let him know that if he keeps it up, he'll continue to be hit. And I've also seen hitters do the same type of thing in day games, but instead of peeking back, you peek down. Because at certain times of the day, depending on how the shadows are falling, you can see, if you look down, you can see the shadow of the catcher, and you can tell if they're moving away or if they're moving in. So this has been part of the game for a while, and I'm not saying that this is what Aaron Judge is doing. I'm just saying that it does happen. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Now, here's another interesting possibility. So this is Aaron Judge on the on-deck circle before his at-bat, and you can see him looking over at the bench, and he's going to make a sign right there. Slider, all right. Fastball. Okay, got it. So what is he doing here? Now, again, I'm not accusing him of anything because I have no idea, but I'm just telling you what I've seen in the past. Either the pitcher or the catcher, again, could be tipping something. So the hitter, instead of getting it with his own eyes, could be looking at the bench. So let's just, for example, say that the catcher's setting up too early. Well, if the catcher sets up away, there could be some type of signal coming from the bench. Someone on the bench could relay that to Aaron. Now, you don't want to do it verbally because that can be heard, but it could be a simple hand gesture or something quick from a player on the bench. And it's almost like he's going through a little quick quiz right here. So he's like, okay, slider, that's what you're going to do. Okay. And what are you doing now? Yep, that would be a fastball, right? Okay, we're on the same page. All right, got it. Now, again, there's nothing preventing a team or a bench from looking at a catcher, seeing the way he's setting up, and then relaying in where he's setting up. That stuff happens all the time as well. I've been on teams that have done it before. I've seen teams do it before. It's the pitcher and the catcher's job to make sure that they don't fall into patterns and give away what pitchers are coming. And if you can pick it up, go for it. I played with Adrian Gonzalez, who was the best I've ever seen at picking up signs or tells from the pitcher. He could look at a pitcher and very quickly go through our entire bench and say, when the pitcher sets his glove up here, it's going to be a curveball. When the pitcher sets his glove up here, it's going to be a fastball. So again, I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but it is a possibility. I've seen it before. So that's all I have. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below or comments. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you later.